Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We're really excited to have you here as we dive into construction business and show you how we can streamline operations and drive profitability using Acumatica's powerful ERP platform. At the Answer Company, we understand that the construction industry faces a lot of unique challenges, whether it's managing complex projects, coordinating field teams, or navigating complex requirements. Our goal today is to show you how a tailored industry-specific ERP solution can help you overcome these hurdles while simplifying processes and improving decision-making. Throughout this session, we'll focus on practical insights and real-world examples that can directly impact your operations. We'll also leave time at the end for your questions, so feel free to jot them down as we go along. We're here to provide answers that can make a difference to your business. Just a few housekeeping items before we start. Please feel free to add questions at any time as we take some time at the end to answer. Also on the right-hand side panel under Files, you'll see some documents you can download for more information about Acumatica Construction and the Answer Company. So let's get started. I'm Janice Rogers, Director of the Answer Company's construction practice. I bring over 15 years of experience in guiding construction companies through the challenges of digital transformation. I'm really passionate about helping businesses harness technology to streamline operations, increase profitability, and drive project success. Today, I'm really excited to share actionable insights on how you can leverage innovative solutions like Acumatica to overcome industry-specific challenges, empower your team to work smarter, and build better. I'm also joined by Darren Reddies, the Chief Operating Officer at the Answer Company. Darren has been a cornerstone of the company since 1999, holding roles ranging from ERP implementation consultant to solution architect before stepping into his current leadership position. More than just an expert in his field, Darren is the heart behind our purpose-driven culture of propelling business forward. His leadership and vision has played a key role in helping both our clients and our team achieve impactful results. Our agenda today is to start with some industry insights, look at what's happening in the construction industry, and then we're going to dive into some product as well. So the product we're going to be highlighting today is the Acumatica Construction Edition, where we'll take a look and see how Acumatica can help you tackle some of the current challenges. And we'll give you a little bit of information about the Answer Company before making some time for your questions. So let's get started at some of the key challenges in the industry. One of the key challenges that has been going on for a while now is the ongoing labor shortage. And we know this is really across a lot of industries, but construction has been hit harder than most. And this is predicted to be ongoing as well, too. The current prediction is that we will be short over 60,000 in the next decade. There are a number of other key challenges that we can also take a look at, too. One of which is that 48% of construction projects typically go over budget and are overscheduled. We know that there's some real impacts due to inflation, which is really impacting construction. We'll actually take a bit of a look at specifically, but we want to take a look at building costs and how they've increased 51% since the first quarter of 2020. We know that 13% of working hours are typically spent on looking for project data and information. And I would say that obviously with that being an average, we see companies where it's much higher than that as well. And we know that 49% of construction firms have to manually transfer their data because their apps don't integrate. So let's talk a little bit about the inflationary pressures we continue to face, because we know that inflation is impacting everyone. While we're recently seeing the overall Canadian rate cool, the reality is that the cost of building in Canada has never been higher. When we take a look at what's happening specifically to the construction industry, what we see is that what's being affected is even more in other industries. The building construction price index continues to surge past the consumer price index, with the cost of residential building 36% more than the consumer price index, and commercial building is at 38% more. Let's take a look at the digital transformation challenges. So why do we have a lag going on right now? Well, there's a different reason, but really we see some of the same themes being repeated over and over again. When we take a look at the various different groups, so if we start with owners and developers, number one reason is getting leadership buy-in to the process. But equally high is the lack of support from technology providers or vendors. And then we have a 20% overcoming concerns around data security. Just slightly as we go through different groups, so general contractors are feeling that there's a lack of software solutions that meet their specific needs. Once again, looking at overcoming concerns around data security, and this is a challenge for all, but I'm sorry if one of the top 3 projects in establishing practices and behaviors. Subcontractors, again, we see some that are repeating and then some slightly different ones here. So first of all, lack of support, once again, from technology providers or vendors, but lack of software solutions that meet their specific needs. Subcontractors that were surveyed also said that it was a lack of internal capacity, meaning that they might just not be able to be capable, or at least feel not capable of taking on a digital transformation project. Now I'm going to hand this over to Darren.
Okay, so let's take a look and see why an investment in a digital solution can assist in meeting these challenges. Let's start by taking a look at data maturity. So this is your opportunity to determine where you actually sit. We know that different companies are at different stages in the digital journey. The starting point, we'd think of a company that exists really using spreadsheets, perhaps even paper. They're not really leveraging any of the transformational tools that are out there to drive business outcomes. And then as we move up, we see companies taking on more and more of the solutions that are available out there. At the top level, companies are able to actually gain insights from the data that they've got. And this really starts to set them apart from their competitors and gives them a distinct advantage over those that don't have these tools. Let's look at the advantages available to companies that take on these digital tools. And again, we'll break this down into 3 different groups. Let's start with owners. Some of the impacts of technology are, first of all, improving construction efficiency, greater alignment between the owners, general contractors, and trades. And this is one of those benefits that we see across all of the groups. And ultimately, reducing build times. For general contractors, we know that we can help improve the construction efficiency and improve the overall build quality. Specialty contractors have the opportunity to improve their construction efficiency, reduce the human labor requirements in some construction functions, and I would say that's available for all of the groups. And again, leading to that tighter alignment between the owners, general contractors, and the trades. So to put this another way, when we look at investing in digital solutions, really what we're looking to do is to reduce overhead costs, to remain competitive, to reduce our admin costs, and to maintain accurate budgets and change orders. We'll take a look at some of these when we actually go into the product. We know that some of the things that need to be achieved are better material cost forecasting. We need seamless data integration. We need to attract the younger workforce that are used to working with digital tools. And importantly, we need to have that data available for us for real-time reporting and analysis. When we look at companies that are adapting digital technologies, we do see this advantage. And it really is one of those cases where it's either adapt or get left behind. Right now, there's an opportunity to get a jump on a lot of your competitors, but if you're not taking advantage of those tools that are available, you're the one that's going to get left behind. Well, let's take a look at the Acumatica Construction Edition to see what it can do to help you. There are some key differentiators about Acumatica in general that we'd like to highlight. First of all, the platform that they use has been well thought out, and it really does allow them to continue to innovate and bring you new features at all times. Using that platform, they really have developed the best-in-class business and industry functionality, and we'll be looking specifically at construction today. For those of you who might work in a couple of different areas, for example, you might have some manufacturing operations and also be manufacturing for the construction industry. Just to let you know, the Acumatica platform is available for lots of different other businesses as well. The ethical business practices that Acumatica holds to also set them apart. They believe in fair pricing, principles such as the fact that you always own your data. Acumatica is also ranked highest in usability year after year by companies that are doing software evaluations. If we take a look at the value matrix supplied here by Nucleus Research, we see that Acumatica is recognized as one of the top for the usability, as well as one of the top for the functionality that's available. The Acumatica Construction Edition is designed to help you manage your business on all fronts. So at its core, it is a financial and reporting solution, but what we'll see is that it gets right into project management, can be potentially doing things like inventory management. If you have a service component to your business, they have functionality to handle that. And we're happy to announce that the Canadian Payroll Edition has been rolled out as well too. And we have numerous customers that are implementing that. This slide gives you a quick idea of some of the most popular add-ons that people are using, particularly those within the construction industry. You'll see names such as Procore and ProEst that are available, as well as many others. And if you're wondering what types of construction customers Acumatica supports, what you'll see is it really is right from top to bottom. When we take a look at general contractors, all of the various sub-trades, when we're talking about owners, architectural firms, engineering firms, all of these companies are able to be supported through the Acumatica Construction Edition. So let's take a look at the product itself. I've gone ahead and logged into the Acumatica Construction Edition here, and I have a dashboard up that allows me to see what's happening in my company quickly and to very quickly then drill into the details of what's happening here. I'm going to just highlight a couple of items. Let's start by taking a look at something that we never want to have, and that's an unprofitable project. So in this case, my dashboard has highlighted for me that out of my 21 active projects, I have 7 that are currently listed as unprofitable. Let's take a look and see why. So when I click on the tile, I'm presented with a list of all of the projects that are being reported on as being unprofitable. I'm going to drill into one specific case where we see a negative margin of $145,000 to see what's happening with this project. When I open the project up, Up in the top right, you'll see that once again, I get the quick summary showing me what the actual income and expenses are and showing me what my current margin, both in dollars and percentage is. Let's take a look at some more details on this project. If I scroll down, I see that this is a time and materials project. Therefore, if I'm not making money in this project, it must have to do with billings being overdue. I can drill into that billing rule and see how it's been configured. What I see is that the various markups have been defined for all of the different components of this project so that I can have a different markup for things like travel, for the work done by the subcontractors, and for materials purchased. The way that we budget out projects is configurable as well. In this case, we've decided to budget this project based on task and cost code. But if I look at the drop down here, you'll see that this can be as simple as just the task code or as detailed as going down to the inventory item. Let's take a look at the cost budget defined for this project. When I go into the cost budget tab, I can see the complete budget available. You'll see that as configured, this one is by project task and cost code. And you'll also notice that in addition to the original budgeted quantity, I can see all of the change order amounts in here as well. Those change orders are tracked separately, but yet I always get the view of everything all together for the project. If I switch over to the Balances tab, I can see not only what's been budgeted, but what's happened with this project. And all of these numbers are kept up to date real time. Now I can see exactly what's been billed, as well as all of the costs that have been incurred against this project. Once again, broken down into the amounts that are against the original budget, as well as against all of the change order amounts. If I want to understand one of these categories in greater detail, I can go ahead and drill into them. Let's take a look at the material costs that have been incurred so far for this project. I'm going to highlight material and then click on View Commitment Details. What this does is to bring up a list of all of the purchase orders that have been placed against this project for materials to date. I can also now go into these purchase orders and bring up the actual purchase order to see exactly what was done on this. One of the interesting things you'll note is there is a yellow exclamation mark shown here. This indicates that there's an expired compliance document for this project. This is just one of the ways that Acumatica helps to alert you of any potential problems you may have with your project. Turning back to the Balances tab, let's take a look at the labor transactions. Labor transactions are gathered from the individual worker time cards or from team cards that have been submitted. Drilling into this project, I can see all of the time that's been recorded against the various tasks and cost codes. I can also drill into those time cards then to see the details. In this case, I can see that Jordan recorded his time card for this period and had time against 2 projects. If I look at the details, I can see exactly what was recorded for each day. I can also see who approved his time. There is a full workflow available for time approval in Acumatica. Now, I did mention that there's a payroll package available as well. So time that's recorded not only flows to the project, but also is available then for payroll services. Clicking on the payroll tab, I can go ahead and start a new payroll batch. I specify the pay group that I want to include. This will filter down to a specific group of employees and then determine the pay period that I'm running the batch for. Clicking on the Add Employees button brings in all time that's been recorded in Acumatica. Note that 2 of my employees show in red, are not selected, and show a yellow exclamation mark next to them. That's because these 2 employees have already been paid for the time. Acumatica ensures that all of your employees are paid and that none are paid more than once. I'm going to go ahead and add and close. This will add the 2 outstanding employees so that Terrence and Constantine can be paid for this period. All right, let's return to the Construction Project Manager dashboard. Now, we indicated earlier that the reason our project was overdue was that it was waiting to be billed. I like to have my projects that are waiting to be billed in my dashboard so that I can see if I need to go ahead and run my project billing. You'll remember that when we looked at that project, it was a time and materials project. It's that CSTR REST project. Let's take a look at another project now so that we can see one that's based on milestone billings. Drilling into my MEP job, I can see that the billing rule for this project is based on those progress billings. By going and updating the amount that can be billed against any one of the tasks for this project, Acumatica knows how much then to generate in the next project billing. Let's go ahead and increase the amount complete on the finishing work from 75% to 85%. As soon as I do so, note that Acumatica has determined that $3,786 are waiting now to be billed against this project. It's also included the 10% retainage so that I don't have to manually calculate that. Clicking on the Run Project Billing will go ahead and generate the invoice for this project. This can be done on a project-by-project basis, or it can be done in a batch mode where I run all of the billings against all of my projects for whatever time period it is I'm looking at. By clicking on this for this one specific project, the pro forma invoice has been created. I can see that that $3,786 has been included on the invoice and that the retainage of $378 has been deducted from it. This invoice can then be either printed or emailed directly out to your customer. We know how important it is to play where you win. We'll take a quick look at some of the functionality available in Acumatica to help you determine where it is that you're most successful. You'll notice at the top of my dashboard, right next to my active projects, I have 9 quotes that are in the system. Let's go ahead and click on that tile. Now, typically, we'd only be looking at quotes that are still open. I've opted to show some of the closed quotes as well so that I can show you one that's flowed all the way through. I'm going to go ahead and click into quote number 11 so that we can see some details. Already in the grid, we see that this is associated to an opportunity and it's marked as being the primary quote for this opportunity. When I go into the quote screen, you'll see how similar it is to the project screen. Project quotes that have been accepted can be rolled right into project, and that's why you see the button up at the top that in this case is grayed out that says convert to project. There's a few other things that I'll draw your attention to. First of all, you'll see that there's a project template associated with this, and that's so that I can create projects that are similar quickly and easily in Acumatica. I also see that the project ID is there. This is why this project is no longer available to be converted. And I can see that it became project ID CSTRELEC. I can click on that link to go directly to the project. I also mentioned that this project quote is associated with an opportunity in Acumatica's CRM module. Let's go ahead and take a look at opportunity 398. You can keep track of all leads and opportunities that you're currently working on in Acumatica's CRM module. All of the quotes are then gathered here together, with one quote being listed as being the primary quote for forecasting purposes. Let's take a look at another opportunity that has multiple quotes associated with it. Looking at this plaza construction opportunity, we see an opportunity with two quotes, one that's marked as primary, but a second quote that's still there and we can always refer to at any point in the future. Finally, let's look at some of the project management functionality that helps you connect your field personnel to the back office and ensures quality communication throughout your team. Clicking on the project management workspace, I can see a number of different things to help. You'll note things like project issues, drawing logs, and photo logs that can be attached to your various projects. All of this information and more can then be brought together into a daily field report. New daily field reports can be created by clicking on the Add New Record button and then gathering all of the activity that's happened for a project. Right now, though, let's drill into a daily field report that's already been created. What we can see is within the daily field report, some of the various activities that have been gathered together. We've got all of the labor time and activities, things like the progress worksheets that might be attached, change requests, change orders, work by the subcontractors, material issues, photo logs, and more. This can all then be printed as a report to be shared out. Here's an example of that daily field report. I did say that the real power was to connect your field personnel to your back office, and that's done using the mobile app. Let me show you this on my phone. You see here is the Acumatica app. I'm going to go ahead and first of all click on that daily field report. The same information is available that I was looking at from the desktop app. The only difference is things have been configured now so that I can look at them a little bit more easily on the reduced screen of my phone. I can go into those same project management tasks like the photo logs, take a look at a photo log that's there. I can add new photos to it, or I can look at one of the existing photo logs and go right down to the actual picture that one of my coworkers submitted. In business since 1994. We currently have over 2,000 clients and over 120 team members. We are Acumatica's #1 partner in Canada with 6 offices in North America. Along the way, I'm proud to say we've received a number of recognitions. One that we're very proud of is the fact that for the last 4 years, we've been certified as a great place to work. As a result of the high employee satisfaction, we have very high retention rates, and what this means for you is that the people that help you do your implementation will continue to be available to help you as you grow your company. We've been recognized by Bob Scott, who evaluates value-added resellers across various ERPs, and we've also been one of the 100 fastest growing companies in BC for the last few years. We're also very proud of our corporate social responsibility program, which we call Answering the Call. As part of that, 4 days every year, we go and donate our time to a cause that we've determined as being worthwhile to our community and our team. Team members also get an additional 4 days per year to spend continuing their own personal volunteer work. And as a result, our team has devoted over 25,000 hours to charities in Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Toronto. And important to all of you is what our purpose is. The reason the Answer Company exists is to propel businesses forward, and this is something that we take very seriously. Our team works very hard to ensure that we understand what your goals are and how we can help you achieve them. To do so, we do offer a number of services, including management consulting, professional services, software development, performance management, and we are a managed services provider.
So as we wrap things up today, I hope this webinar has given you a clear path forward on leveraging digital tools to optimize your construction projects and enhance your bottom line. From improving data visibility to empowering your teams, Acumatica and the Answer Company can transform how you do business. Unfortunately, we've run out of time for questions today, but we are committed to following up directly with each of you and answering your questions personally. For more details, a complimentary consultation, or to see a personalized demo, please visit theanswerco.com/discovery or reach out to us by email at busdev@theanswerco.com. Let's keep the momentum going toward building a more efficient and profitable future.